Joining us now is Aubrey Hogan, a maker of reclaimed wood landscapes, who will be joining you at the Ann Arbor Art Fair, July 21st through July 23rd this summer. Aubrey, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So first, tell us a little bit about yourself and the kind of art that you do.
Like you said, my name's Aubrey. I am out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I'm a full-time artist, and the type of art that I make is reclaimed wood mosaics. So what I typically do is I take wood that was used for something else, repurpose it, and make it into a mosaic piece of art that resembles an impressionistic landscape.
And so where do you get some of this previously used wood from? Are you going to different places or that are disposing of some of this wood? Are you seeking it out yourself from other projects? Where does this all come from?
Yeah, really all of the above. So, I've been doing this long enough that sometimes people will bring me wood, or I'll contact a teardown in the area and go see what I can scrap from there. Or, even Facebook Marketplace is a good place to find used wood. So.
We're joined by Aubrey Hogan, the maker of reclaimed wood landscapes, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. He's one of hundreds of artists you'll be able to see July 21st through July 23rd at the Ann Arbor Art Fair. Learn more information at theannarborartfair.com. That's theannarborartfair.com for more information. So tell us a little bit, Aubrey, about your journey to becoming a full-time artist. Where did that start? Where did your love of this form of art begin? And how did you then turn that into a career?
So to do what I do, you kind of stumble into it. I'm not a traditional painter per se. There's not a lot of artists working in the medium that I work in. So prior to this, I was working in ministry as a pastor, and I was working as an entrepreneur. My wife and I had a sign business that we were running out of our house. What I wanted to do is, I had this idea where I wanted to use some of the scraps from our business, and I wanted to apply the process used to make signs where, you create a template and then you apply that template to wood. I thought, well, I think I could do this with landscapes. So I did that for fun, roughly 5 years ago. Really enjoyed the process and how that first piece turned out, and I told all my friends at the time, hey, if you want one of these things, this is the moment, because I'm a little ADD and I may not do this forever. Well, needless to say, one thing turned into another, and slowly I began putting my work in galleries and getting into different shows. And then from there, the process just built on itself. During COVID, my family and I decided to move across the country to be closer to family. And so, as part of that process, I made the leap and decided to go into business and be a full-time artist for myself.
We're joined by Aubrey Hogan, maker of reclaimed wood landscapes, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information can be found on Aubrey and many other artists you'll find at the Ann Arbor Art Fair by visiting theannarborartfair.com. That's theannarborartfair.com. You can join Aubrey and others at the Ann Arbor Art Fair July 21st and 22nd, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, July 23rd, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. Again, more information is on their website, theannarborartfair.com. And so, Aubrey, you mentioned that when you first started doing this particular form of art, it was just something you kind of tried, you kind of tinkered with, you weren't sure if you're going to do it for very long, and now you are doing it as a career. This is your job. You travel to different festivals and different art fairs across the country to display this art and to sell this art. So for you, as you're creating these pieces now, as this has become something that was often an experiment and now into a full-time passion and a full-time career of yours, where do you draw that inspiration from in creating these pieces?
So most of my art, it will represent landscapes. There's not, like I said previously, there's not a lot of people in working in this medium, creating landscape images the way that I do. And so I'm trying to push that medium as far as it will go. So, but because that's true, I have to draw my inspiration from other places. And I've always loved kind of the classic impressionist landscape artists, you know, Van Gogh, Monet, even some modern ones like Aaron Hansen. And so there, and then just from nature itself, one of the things that I hope my work does is it causes people to slow down for a moment and to reflect, and not only to notice the materials I work with and the wood and kind of all the depth and texture that's there, but to be drawn into the landscapes. And so I hope my art kind of calls people back to nature. And so I draw a lot of inspiration from nature itself. I rarely work from a photograph. Typically what I do is I'll see a landscape that I really enjoy and kind of try to take in the imagery myself, the shapes and the colors that stand out to me. And then, you know, kind of from the image that's in my mind, I'll begin to create the piece from there.
We're joined by Aubrey Hogan, maker of reclaimed wood landscapes, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. You can feel more by visiting their website at adhoganart.com. That's adhoganart.com. You can also learn more about him and learn more about so many other artists that you'll find at the Ann Arbor Art Fair this summer in July by visiting the AnnArborArtFair.com. That's the Ann Arbor Art Fair.com for more information. And as you've mentioned a couple times, Aubrey, you are one of just a few that are really taking this particular format of art, this particular way of creating art that you'll find anywhere. And so being that there's not so much of a fragmentation of this particular form of art among many different artists, do you feel that gives you more creative freedom to still continue to do what you did originally when you got into this form of art and kind of tinker with things and experiment and be a little bit more creative in what you're outputting?
Yeah, I would say that is true. You know, yeah, I would consider myself one of the people that's kind of leading this, you know, small little movement of artists that works with reclaimed wood. And so it does give me some freedom. It is something that I want to kind of stretch and see, you know, what are the limits of this medium and how far can we go? You know, and so, you know, that's my passion. And certainly, you know, moving forward, it's one of the things I would like to see my work is kind of take a place at the forefront when it comes to people's minds and regarding, you know, this medium of reclaimed wood.
So you've obviously been able to turn this form of art into a full-time career, into a job, into something that you're able to market and to sell. But I understand you've only been going to fairs and festivals for about 5 to 6 years. What about the fairs and the festivals, helps you to, as an artist, maintain this career of yours full-time, but also how does that help you to then draw greater inspiration for creating your pieces down the line as you're talking to people that are ultimately interested in these pieces and are buying some of your art?
Yeah, I mean, I love art fairs. So, you know, over the course of this year, I'll do over 20 of them. In the summer in the Midwest, you know, it's almost every weekend. And so art fairs allow me to really get in front of a lot of patrons and you know, it allows patrons to meet the artist as well. And so it gives you that personal one-on-one connection that you just don't always get when you put your work into a gallery. And so it allows you to meet people and interact. And for me as an artist, it gives me a lot of feedback, you know, just constantly everybody that walks in my booth, I learn what people are drawn to. You know, in the Midwest, people really like wildflowers and lake scenes. You know, we like the water and we like to be outdoors in the summertime. So it gives me that kind of feedback. And then also one of the things I love about shows is that I get to meet other artists. You know, and Ann Arbor will be a great place because there'll be roughly 400 artists there across the different shows. And so it gives me an opportunity to interact with people in my field when you're at home as an artist, a lot of times during the week, you just spend all your time in the studio. And so this is my chance as an artist to get out and really interact with people who do things that are similar to what I do.
We're joined by Aubrey Hogan, the maker of reclaimed wood landscapes, who you will find at the Ann Arbor Art Fair this summer in July. Joining us on the Michigan Megacast, again, the Ann Arbor Art Fair, Thursday, July 21st, and Friday, July 22nd, 10 a.m. until 9 p.m., Saturday, July 23rd, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. Learn more about all the artists, including Aubrey Hogan, by visiting theannarborartfair.com. That's theannarborartfair.com, and learn more about Aubrey's art directly at adhoganart.com. That's adhoganart.com for more information on Aubrey and his specific art pieces. And so, you mentioned some of the reasons why you're excited to come to Ann Arbor for this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair. Is it your first time at the event? If so, what draws you to it? And if it's not your first time at the event, what brings you back to Ann Arbor?
So this will be my first time at the Ann Arbor event. Typically, living where I do in Wisconsin in the summertime, I usually bounce around between Minneapolis, Chicago, Milwaukee area. So Ann Arbor will be the show this summer that I really travel some distance to go to. Ann Arbor is a nationally ranked show. And so, it provides me the opportunity not only to get in front of some Michigan patrons, but people actually travel from all over the country to come to this particular show because there's so many artists really from all across the United States that gather together in this one place. So, I'm excited for both of those things, to meet artists from around the world and to meet the people of Michigan and, all the patrons that will come from across the U.S. To that particular show.
And so, Aubrey, what are some of the pieces that you plan on bringing with you to Ann Arbor and showcasing at the Ann Arbor Art Fair this July?
So I'll bring a variety of pieces. Most of my art booth will have some large landscape pieces. I'll bring some triptych pieces that are as large as 4 foot by 8 foot long, and I'll bring a lot of large wall pieces. I will also bring some kind of mid-sized pieces as well that kind of will fit into any space. And then I'll have some prints of my work, some smaller prints as well that will be available really for people with any kind of budget. So I'll bring a little bit of everything, but the thing that will draw most people into my booth will be those large wall pieces.
We're joined by Aubrey Hogan, maker of reclaimed wood landscape art, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. You can find his art on display and for purchase at the Ann Arbor Art Fair, July 21st through 23rd in Ann Arbor. 30 blocks of the city will be featuring this art fair. It's open to the public on Thursday and Friday, July 21st and 22nd, from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m., and then on Saturday, July 23rd, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. Again, 30 blocks of Ann Arbor. More information on everything you'll find at the Ann Arbor Art Fair and all of their shows at theannarborartfair.com. That's theannarborartfair.com for more information on the art fair, for more information on Aubrey, adhoganart.com. That's adhoganart.com. And Aubrey, thank you very much for joining us today and telling us more about your art and previewing what some people will see when they visit Ann Arbor this July for, as you said, a nationally ranked art show.
Thank you very much.